Hello internet people. So a while ago, a few weeks ago, I said that the tent that I normally use when I'm camping is the OEX Phoxx II, and that I quite like it, but that it had been discontinued. Turns out I was wrong. It's for sale. Graham Tizer were selling it. Go Outdoors themselves are out of stock at the moment, but they aren't saying that it's discontinued. So I think maybe what had happened was that problem with the Suez Canal being blocked maybe had just disrupted supply, and there's a lot of demand for tents and outdoor gear at the moment, this year especially. So yeah, it's not discontinued. You can still get it. So I'm going to do a wee. This is the OEX Phoxx II. Let you see. Well, make up your own minds. I should say, as a bit of a warning, that I'm at the end of the first day of the West Highland Way. I've walked 17.5 miles. I'm currently on top of a big bloody hill. So I'm not perhaps at my freshest, brightest and best. And I don't know how I'm going to do this with one hand. But we'll give it an old college try anyway. Let's have a look at the view though, eh? So that's Loch Lomond at about, I don't even know what time it is, 6:30 in the evening, we'll say. It's worth climbing this hill just for this view. You probably won't be able to hear it, but there's a cuckoo down there as well, which is quite nice. Anyway, what do we need? We need a tent. That would be a really good start for a tent video. So, a tent. We also need pegs and poles, which I carry separately just because it means this bag's smaller. So, tents and poles. Now I'm going to try and set up some camera stuff, and then I'll put the tent up and talk if I think it's relevant. Okay, so hopefully the mic is going to pick up me talking, and hopefully the cameras will give you some idea of what I'm doing, although it's not, I would be the first to admit, going to be perfect. But it's been a long day, so now even though this is Scotland, this is a inner pitch first tent, which most people would say is fucking nuts for Scotland, and they'd probably be right. But as you can see, it's not too much of an issue tonight. Always recommend sticking something on the fly sheet, because if that blows away, well, your night's a bit screwed really. We just have to pray that it doesn't rain. Try and find the feet end, which is the wee end. Also try to judge where the wind is, so I'm pointing the top and bottom into the wind. Got a mixture of pegs, some of the original ones, some that I swapped out for slightly lighter. Not much in it really. So, because there's a breeze, I'm going to peg one corner in. Again, it's going to stop the tent blowing away, but you don't really want to peg in all of the pegs just now, because it makes it much harder to put the poles in. Don't know why, it's just a tension thing really. My pole bag somewhere so it doesn't blow away. Just going to stick a peg through here, stop that fly. Alright, so pegs, poles, 2 poles, pretty obviously, one small, one big. So the small one goes at the bottom end. It's not really rocket surgery. And through here, you reach under, find a wee clippy bit. Well, a wee hole the bolt clips into. Excuse my English, as I say, it's been a long day. And the other, same deal on this side. You can kind of see how this is going, can't you? Next one. And that's why we peg the sheets down. Otherwise I'd be chasing this halfway to Loch Lomond. Right. Same deal on the top section. And once this is in, it's going to make it look kind of a bit like a tent, which is a bonus. Tent weighs 2.1 kilos, which is alright. It's not too bad. I mean, you can get a lot lighter tents, we know, but the lighter it is, well, it's one of these things, isn't it, really? Is it cheap? Is it good? Is it available? Or is it cheap? Is it good? Or is it high quality? You can have 2 out of the 3. You can never have all 3. Now, you can't really see what I'm doing on this side, but you'll see it on the other side. The inner just clips onto the poles. And I'm going to stick a couple of pegs in now just to try and give us some shape and stop it blowing about so much. Usually do a wee bit of adjustment later on. Should probably clean the thing out. It's like a Bourneville wrapper in there. Some twigs. But I wasn't really planning on doing this. I thought I would be far too tired. But, you know, it's a nice night. It's supposed to rain all day, it never has. It's a nice night and it's a killer view. It's worth watching a video just for the view. Unfortunately the tent's blocking it now. I'll show you it again at the end, I promise. Just bumped into one of the local mountain rescue guys. They're apparently doing some exercises up here tonight. I did say, am I alright to camp? You're not going to move me along, but they're cool. So that's alright. If everything goes tits up, mountain rescue will be nice and handy anyway. Okay, inner's done, that's simple. Slightly tricky procedure now because of the wind. And also because I can never remember which way is the big way. That way. So we'll just get this down and get a bloody peg in it. Keep it steady. Can adjust it afterwards. What the hell happened there? Alright, well that just had a bit of a moment when the flying fly sheet caught the, caught the DJI pocket and knocked it flying. Hopefully that didn't cut the mic, might have done. Anyway, last few pegs basically. I'm going to find these little clips that are attached here, and they clip in next to the pole so you know that you're in roughly the right place. I think we'll be using the guy ropes tonight. I don't know how windy it's supposed to get, but it kind of seems sensible when you're perched halfway up a fucking mountain. Well, I suppose it's a hill rather than a mountain, but you can double peg the inner and the outer. Although I've got enough pegs to do them separately. Right, so it should be a wee bit more stable now. Hopefully not going to blow about so much. Like any other tent, get the bloody thing up and then worry about adjusting it a wee bit once you have. I'm quite glad actually that I bumped into that mountain rescue guy, because I was a wee bit worried that someone was going to give me grief for camping here. But if they're fine with it, it's not really a lot anybody else can say. Right, so pegs are in, but we're still flapping a bit, so now it's time to make some adjustments. Always the tricky bit. Now there's another stage as well. Here, the fly sheet actually ties to the inner, but I find that it's easier to get the tent up, and then once you've got it up, unzip the doors. There's two doors in this, one on the outside. So once it's up, open the doors and tie, make the ties that you need to tie. Just seems to be a smoother process really. So pretty much done. If this video, in the unlikely event that this video actually works in a way that I can actually upload it, I will probably fast forward this bit. Alright, so there's two vents on the tent as well, one at the bottom end and a bigger one at the top end. I'm leaving that one open a bit, but I'll leave the top one shut because that's where the wind's coming from. It's going to be plenty breezy enough already. So we'll do the inside ties and then we'll have a wee look inside, and then that'll be us. What a view! I don't leave these open because midges, so I don't really know what I'm doing. There's actually another tab here that I'm missing. Don't use these. Pretty good if you don't live in midge country though. a nice through breeze on a hot day. God, what a mess. Okay, let's have a wee look see inside. Now, I'm 6'2". That's my head at a sensible place in this end. Maybe I'll be down a wee bit because the sleeping pad will raise me. So, aye, that's pretty handy. Feet wise, yeah, don't judge me, I've still got my shoes on. Like I say, it's been a long day. Yeah, there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room for somebody that's 6'2". Right, if you're bigger than 6'2", like about, I don't know, 6'6", maybe you need a bigger tent. But it's alright for me. Now, other things, can you sit up in it? Just is the answer to that. But I can sit up in it enough to get changed and yeah, lean out of it and grab stuff. I can also, by the way, once I've got my sleeping mat in here, I can also get my rucksack in as well and all my gear, so I don't need to leave stuff outside in the vestibule, which I like. I don't cook in my tent because I just don't think it's a very good idea, but I know a lot of people do. So, is there room? Not really, but that's not a concern for me. You could, I mean, you could if I had this this fly sheet shot. There's enough room. It just wouldn't be very safe. It never is, but you know, even less safe. Aye, so this is home for the night. You see, we've got the gear stashed in that corner, sleeping mat, sleeping bag liner sitting on top at the moment. Nothing much down there. Plenty of room though. Aye, that's a basic outline of the Phoxx II from OEX. It's a budget tent. Cost me about £70 I think. Probably fluctuates depending on sales. Anything between 60, 70. They probably claim a RRP of about 150, but no one ever sells it for that. So, are there better tents? Yes, there are. Of course there are. It's a cheap tent, but I've done it with Ellenway, I've done it at Glenway, I've done it with Ellenway again. Never had an issue. Does the job for me. Let's have a look at that view again. Well, no be bad to wake up to tomorrow. Right, so I'm not going to set up the tent and sleeping bag and all that sort of shit. Not, not when you're there. Maybe I'll bring you back and show you how much room there is once I've got all of that done. That would make more sense. Fuck, I shouldn't have done this when I'm so tired. Probably the sound quality is not even going to be good enough to get this on, but we'll see. We'll see. Try to get more videos. Anyways, take it easy, folks.